Hey everybody, I thought I would jump on here today and talk to you a little bit about why I created my YouTube channel. I have a lot of kids. I have 6 of my own and 2 stepkids. Everybody lives spread out. I have a son that's recently moved nearby and his wife, and then I have my oldest daughter who she lives nearby me. I have another daughter that's kind of scattered out there and flittering about. I've got kids kind of all over the country, and they have kids of their own now also. I've been the banging gong for probably years now to all of my kids about preparing and being ready for the tumultuous times that are coming upon us. And I had been promising my kids that I would make videos to teach them how to can and how to do all these things and spill the secrets on making homemade products, and I just kept putting it off. I would just get to working and then I just wouldn't film it, and I decided that I was going to go ahead and jump into the YouTube pool without really knowing what I'm doing. Just recording and just jumping in. There's really no other way to do it. So that's really the main purpose of my channel, was to share with my kids and my grandkids and have like a video diary, I guess, that they could always go back to and refer to and see how to do things and be self-sufficient. I certainly wasn't doing these things when my kids were small. I wanted to, but there was just a lot of other things going on, and at that point I wasn't really supported to run a homestead like atmosphere. I really wanted to dive headfirst into that lifestyle, but it was a complicated time, and I was a young person, and it just didn't work out. So now that I'm older and I have the time, I have the support from my spouse to jump into the homestead lifestyle, I can video it, and as I'm learning even, and share all of that knowledge with my kids and my grandkids as they're getting older. And I should clarify, I don't have I guess what the world would call a homestead. I don't have farm animals, unless you include dogs as farm animals, or cats. I have cats, I have dogs. I don't have farm animals. I would like to, but right now it's just not that time in my life. We're trying to prepare the back of the property for a chicken coop and a dog run. So the dogs and chickens don't mingle, and we keep everybody safe. And we're in the process of building a retaining wall so that we can put up fencing and have all of that done before we build the chicken coop. And that's on its way, but I'd eventually like to get a couple of goats. I think that would be fantastic. Cows are way beyond me. I have no idea where to begin with that kind of life. I have no clue. But my channel still will teach you how to have the products that you need to survive and thrive and feed your family, even though you may not have a cow or chickens or goats. You know, you can still do the best you can with what you have. Now, having said that, I have been nagging my family for a few years now about stocking up. I remember Y2K. I don't know if all of you remember Y2K, but Y2K was a hot mess. So 2020 kind of reminded me of Y2K. The husband I am with right now is not the husband that I was with during Y2K. So my first marriage, when all of that was going around, There were a lot of churches that were hosting speakers that would come out. Some had written books on how to survive the coming crisis of Y2K. I did not have the finances to do the things they suggested. I know a lot of people were selling their homes, their cars, their motorcycles, their boats. I knew people that were like liquidating everything and going full-blown underground. The food was, I remember shelves were cleared. It wasn't easy to get everything you needed because everyone was in full-blown panic mode. We were going into unventured waters. When 2020 happened, I remembered that. And we were living in the Bay Area at the time. And I remember telling the husband I'm married to now, my second husband, I said, this is going to be like Y2K. And he didn't have a big family when Y2K happened. He was just flittering about being a bachelor. I had 6, kids plus my stepdaughter, 7 kids at home, and I'm trying to make everything work. And so Y2K was a big deal to me. I remember wondering what was going to happen, but I do remember going to the store and trying to get everything we needed for 6, 7 kids and 2 adults. It was scary. So I had told him during 2020, and when they shut everything down in March of 2020, I said, this is going to be like Y2K. Everybody's going to scramble. Everybody's going to try to get everything in stockpile and do it fast. And there's going to be shortages. And he goes, I don't know what you mean. And I said, you just watch. And I told him, we need to go to Costco. We need to do a little bit of a run ourselves. And we decided that following weekend we were going to go to Costco and stock up on some things. Because everybody's shut in their house, you want to go out once, not time and time again. He had said, let's go at, I think he said like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I said, no, we need to go there sooner, like 7 o'clock in the morning. And he says, really, you think that early? I said, we might even want to get there earlier. It's going to be really bad. Well, we got there about 7, and when we pulled up in the Costco parking lot, the line was already way wrapped around the Costco of people waiting for it to open, and I think they didn't open until 10. So you have like 3 hours of waiting in line. And I remember there was a point where everybody had to move out of the way because this big truck was coming through with goods to deliver to Costco, and you could tell people's moods were like a little iffy and kind of scared. Now, as we got closer to the store, once they opened the store and people started to go in, you all probably remember this, people on bullhorns, have your card out and ready, to show when you come into Costco. And they split everyone up into 2 lines. One line was for paper goods, toilet paper and paper towel. The other one was for food items. And so as we're getting closer to the Costco doors, you could see the shopping carts are on their sides, all lined up to control the masses. Don't blame them. People were coming in a hot mess and getting a little bit more stressed as they're coming in. And we decided right before we came in to split up. I said, how about you go get canned goods and I'm gonna go get meats, and we'll meet over here. And you could see this look in my husband's eyes, this like glazed over look, like what's happening. And as we get into the store, everyone's just going this way in this direction, trying to get to where they wanted to go. It's chaos, kind of. Everybody's getting a cart and they're hurrying. I'm sure you remember this. I went over and I just grabbed as much meat as I could that I knew we would eat. And then I went to go find my husband in the produce aisle. The canned good aisle. And there's my husband with all of these people just shoving stuff in their carts, going crazy. And I just dumped all the meat in, and I'm like, let's get out of here. We have plenty now. Let's get out of here. I don't want to ever go through that again. For 2 top reasons. One is bulk buying at once shorthands other people, and it's scary. because if you go in there and you're scared, fear's a terrible thing. And if you go in there and you're afraid and you have fear, you're going to grab everything you can on the aisles. And then someone behind you won't have anything. Maybe they're a little late in the game. It's just a courtesy. And the other is, if you prep ahead of time and the person who didn't prep might be able to come to you and ask, can I have a can of soup? And you'll have it to share. I have a large family. I've got, oh gosh, I think we're heading into 21 grandkids this year. Some of them live nearby. My oldest daughter, she's got 7 of her own. And when I think of things getting ugly and I think of those little kids being hungry, it makes me sick. So I'm a firm believer in preparing as you go, not waiting for the nightmare to happen, preparing way before the nightmare happens. If nothing happens, how fantastic is that? Because you just made however many pre-made dinners. How much time is that going to save you now? Or if just inflation happens, you've saved yourself money. Instead of running to the store, you can just skip store trips altogether and use what you have. So, my plea to everybody is start preparing now. If you haven't yet, get out from under the rock you're under, because there's a lot going on in the world, and you should know, living through 2020, and if you're old enough to have lived through Y2K, then you'll remember and realize how precarious the situation is in the world. Just one blip can stall so many things. Not to mention the madness that happens in the stores when people are afraid, and the danger you put yourself in trying to go rush and fill your pantry, and then the debt you're getting into because you're going to do it all at once. It's a bad idea. So I think that prepping now, if you haven't started, you still have some time. There's never too late to start buying some things. I've spoken to a few people in my family that they're a little bit strapped, and it's like they can't just go run out and do all of this. Well, first, this didn't take one day to do. I've been working at this since 2019. So it's taken a long time to get to where I'm at, where I feel like we're somewhat secure, and if someone came to me for help, I could help them. And affordability is a big problem because things have escalated and caused hyperinflation. So it's very hard for a lot of people who are on limited incomes to just run out and get all this and that. It's almost impossible. So hopefully there's been some helpful hints in my videos that you've seen ways to cut back here and there, even $5 or $10 a week, to cut back on your grocery list. And if you can do that, you could afford what I'm about to tell you. I have a master list that's good for 52 weeks. And it just makes suggestions of things you could buy every week to start bulking up your pantry. So one week it would be, I don't know, 20 pounds of flour or 10 pounds of flour if that's all you could do. And the following week would be maybe 10 pounds of rice. And then the following week would be 10 canned goods. And you can go wherever you find affordable near your home that's possible to do this kind of shopping and start putting food away for a rainy day. It's a very nice feeling to know if someone came to you, you were prepared to help. And it's a comforting feeling to know that you won't be one of the masses in those stores if things do turn and get ugly. So I'm going to include at the end of this video the master list. Back when I found it, it was like a $5 average per thing. Well, that's long gone. I'll try to erase that or mark it out. Do what you can afford. If the list suggests 10 canned goods and all you can afford is 5, get 5. If it suggests 2 bags of flour and all you can get is 1, get the 1 and just put it away. Getting that on top of what you would normally buy. So if you buy flour every week, but the stockpile list says this week is flour, that's the flour you put away. Don't use it for now. You put it away. It'll stay good in that bag for a little while. And we'll start getting into ways to prepare your foods so that you can store them long term. We will cover that. But until then, it'll be fine in the bag for just a little while. Anyway, I hope this video finds you all well. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. It's been a little bit nuts with the news and everything that's going on in the world. But know that you have peace in Christ, and we don't have to worry about those things. We know that He's the great comforter, and we can ride this out, knowing that the whole world is in His hands. He's not asleep at the wheel. Till I see you guys again, I hope that you like today's content, and please leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you have any memories of Y2K or any horror stories from 2020's shopping. And please be sure to share with anyone who's like-minded. And we'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye. And wait for the list coming up.